You've probably noticed it, right? You search for something and boom, the answer is just right there at the top of the page. No click needed. Well, that tiny little change is actually the tip of a colossal iceberg. Today, we're diving into how AI is completely rewriting the rules of online search and advertising, creating something entirely new, the answer economy.
So, let's kick things off with a quote that honestly sent a shiver through the entire tech industry. This wasn't some hot take from an analyst. This was the management of Baidu, the Google of China, flat out admitting that this new wave of AI is shaking the very foundations of their company. And here's the number that puts that disruption into sharp focus, a 15% drop. That's a year-over-year decline in their core advertising business in just one quarter. For a search giant, a number like that isn't just a dip. It's a massive, flashing red alert.
And you have to wonder, is this just a Baidu problem, or is this a warning sign for everyone? It really feels like Baidu is the canary in the coal mine here, signaling that the digital air we all breathe is fundamentally changing. So, what is really going on?
Well, the root cause of all of this chaos is a huge shift in how we behave online. It's being called the zero-click revolution.
For as long as we've had search engines, their job was to be a signpost, right? To point you to another website that had the information you wanted. But now, thanks to AI, the search engine isn't the signpost anymore. It's the destination. It just gives you the answer directly. And this is not some fringe trend. I mean, look at this. A staggering 60% of searches on traditional search engines now end without a single click to an outside website. The user just gets their info and bounces. Just think about what that means for every business that relies on getting people to their site. And here's why that's a business model nightmare. For decades, the formula was simple. A user has a question, an intent. The search engine connects them to a website with a click, and that click is where the money is made. But AI just steps right into the middle of that. It provides the answer directly and, poof, the monetized click just vanishes.
But here's where the story gets really interesting. This disruption isn't hitting everyone the same way. While Baidu is clearly feeling the pain, the biggest giant of them all, Google, seems to be playing a completely different game.
Just look at this contrast. It is absolutely wild. In the same period that Baidu's ad revenue fell off a cliff, down 15%, Google's actually grew by 12%. How is that possible? How is Google not just surviving this AI disruption, but actually thriving?
Well, they're using AI to reinforce their business, not replace it. Take their new tool, Performance Max. It uses AI to supercharge ad campaigns, and the results are kind of undeniable. Advertisers are seeing huge lifts in actual sales conversions, sometimes over 25%, for about the same cost. So while the user sees fewer links, the advertisers are getting so much more bang for their buck that they're happy to keep paying. It's brilliant.
And get this, according to Google's own management, these new AI-powered answers aren't driving people away. They claim users are actually searching more and are happier with the results. They've turned a potential business threat into a tool for even deeper user engagement.
But there is a massive, almost secret weapon that Google has. For over a decade, they've been making their own custom AI chips, these TPUs. So while everybody else is out there buying expensive GPUs from companies like NVIDIA, Google is basically getting their hardware at cost. The difference is just staggering. Their cost to run all this AI is something like 4 to 6 times cheaper than their rivals. That's not an advantage, that's a nearly insurmountable economic moat. Okay. So this massive shift from clicks to answers means that for anyone with a website, a business, a creator, anyone, the old playbook for getting noticed online is basically obsolete. You have to adapt.
For years, the game was SEO, search engine optimization. Well, you can pretty much forget that. Welcome to the era of AEO, answer engine optimization. The whole mindset has to change. It's no longer, how do I get my link to the top of the list? It's, how do I become the trusted source that the AI itself quotes?
So how do you win this new game? It's about a complete rethink of your content. You have to structure your info so machines can easily digest it. Think FAQs, tables, clear lists. And even more important, you have to embrace what Google calls EEAT. That stands for experience, expertise, authority, and trust. You have to prove you're the real deal. Your new metric for success isn't clicks, it's how often your brand gets mentioned as the source of truth.
And the way money changes hands is evolving too. The old world was all about cost per click, where a business paid for the chance to get a customer. The new model is shifting toward cost per sale. The AI platform basically acts like a broker.
helps make a sale happen, and then takes a commission on that confirmed revenue. It just aligns everyone's goals so much better.
So let's zoom out. What does this all really mean for the future of the internet? We're not just watching search results change, we are witnessing the birth of an entirely new economic engine.
You know, for the past couple of decades, the web has been this wonderfully chaotic, decentralized network of billions and billions of pages. But if a few huge AI platforms become our main doorway to information, to shopping, to everything, we could be looking at a massive re-centralization of the internet right back into the hands of a few gatekeepers.
Think about it. This shift could turn countless independent websites, creators, and businesses into little more than data farms, feeding information into these giant AI hubs. And that leaves us with a final, really crucial question to chew on. When the platforms themselves become the answer, what happens to the millions of open websites that used to be the answers?